Hello and welcome back. This is part 3 of the series. It is focusing on MySQL and PHP. If you haven't watched part 2 and 1 of the series, please visit my channel and watch them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That will help this channel. Thank you. Let's connect to the database, test using MySQL. Host equals localhost, username equals root, password is blank and database name is test. Now let's check if connection to the database is successful. Make sure that you installed XAMPP to be able to use PHP and MySQL locally. Let us declare our variables, but we need to ensure that we do this in a secure way. MySQL real escape string will help us to achieve this. Nice. Now we check if the email provided by a user is valid, and if it is not, we will return the error back to the user using filter var function, which returns a boolean. Let's test this by returning, ready to go. That's very important. Test your code more often to avoid debugging a long code, because that will make you sweat, trust me. Perfecto, I am happy with that. I am really sorry guys that I don't type long texts. It is because I don't want this video to be long. You can pause and play the video. Let us check if the user selected images before we can process anything. This method is long. If you know any shorter and simpler method of doing this, please drop it on the comments section. Let's use for loops to loop all images that are uploaded by a user. Check if all images are valid to avoid some problems later. Now let us add all valid files uploaded to the highlighted empty array for future processes. I assume that you have at least basic understanding of PHP basics, because that is what I am using, and I am not going to explain them in this video. If you want me to explain everything, tell me through comments. Last step was filtering all invalid files. In this step we check if files are uploaded, if not we will return an error. Perfecto. Let's ensure that our file chooser accepts images and PDFs only, by adding the accept attribute in our HTML file. Notice that there are no foreign files displayed. Let me illustrate this quickly. The second window shows all files in that folder including files we don't need, but the other one is showing only images and PDF files. And that is what we wanted. Now, we generate a random link. Now, we create a new table using that SQL, named files. Perfecto. Now, we prepare the SQL for inserting multiple rows. Again, if you know a better way of doing this, share with us. I hope you know basics of SQL because I won't be explaining everything in this video. Let us check if data is saved without errors. Now we move uploaded files from the temp folder to uploads folder. We still need to create it, we will create it shortly. Let us throw an error when something goes wrong. If the files are saved and data is stored successfully, then let's send a link to the recipient containing all files attached, and for that I'll use a free software called Hmail server to send and receive emails locally. If you find this video helpful to you, please hit the like button, subscribe and share if you can. That will help this channel a lot. If the email is sent successfully, then send a response to the sender in JSON format, or you may say, as an object. JSON encode function is used to convert array in PHP to JSON format. Let us test again. That is the email address I use for testing. I registered it locally, meaning I will be able to receive emails locally. I hate using internet while testing. I use local starves instead, to avoid being disturbed by the speed of internet. In order for you to understand what I'll be doing, you need to watch part 2 of this video. If you haven't, visit my channel and watch it. Oops, something is wrong. Let's debug. I believe that, Every code will always contain some bugs that will later need to be fixed. If you are a programmer, then bugs are your biggest friends. Sometimes they will keep you awake at night. So don't panic, this is something normal. If you are a mobile applications developer, and you are using Java or Kotlin, then you will understand better. Null pointer exception will hit you harder than heart attack. Haha. I know you are complaining there. Always keep your code neat and clean. Let us test again. Notice that file names are not included and the email content looks terrible. I will fix it later in this video. But links are the same, which means that part works perfectly. Now, we are done debugging. Let's also include names of files sent to the recipient. Let us test again. Let us test again. Now let us format the content accordingly, because honestly you don't want to send someone an email with such content. I'd delete it right away. Let us test again. This is the end of part 3. Expect part 4 very soon. And the source code will be available. Please subscribe and like. In the next part we will allow recipient to download those files and add more features that will interest you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have a question or have something to say, please comment below. Thanks again.